Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday morning. I hope you're all doing great. Today, we are going to be talking about backstock. What is backstock? Backstock is all of the extras that we stock up on in case we're worried that we won't be able to find them at the store or we just prefer to go shopping less often. So, in general, I am not a big fan of backstock for my own life. I do know for those of us with bigger families or those who are trying to save money or those who want to save time by reducing shopping trips, backstock can make a lot of sense. But it only makes sense and only saves you time and only saves you money if you have a good system in place. If you don't, you will actually be wasting time by searching for the things that you know you have or buying them again, and you'll be wasting money for the same reason. So today we're going to talk about how we have a good system. And I've been getting a lot more questions about backstock lately because even for those of us who don't like stocking up, the reality of living during a pandemic is that many of us are stocking up on things because we can't find them on our weekly trips or we don't want to be at the store as often. Some of us are just stressed and want to be stocking up. So I get it. But let's talk about having a really effective system so that it is worthwhile to do so. Because if we don't have a good system, it really is just not worth it. So there are two components to having a backstock system that works for you. The first is how you store it, and the second is how you use it. All right, so let's talk about storage first. I think that for most people, it makes the most sense to have all your backstock in one central location. So that might mean buying a shelving unit for your basement or for your garage or dedicating a linen closet to your backstock. And the first thing you need to do once you identify that spot is to group all your like items together. And I am also a big fan of then subdividing. So what does that mean? For example, put all of your cleaning products in one spot. But then once you have your cleaning products together, it is really beneficial to then subdivide them further into, for example, bathroom cleaning products and kitchen cleaning products, so that if you are running low on whatever it is you are using, you can quickly go to your backstock section and know exactly where to look to see if you have a backup. So you all know by now that I'm a huge fan of labeled bins to keep everything corralled and looking neat. But bins also have another huge benefit, which is to keep us from overbuying. And yes, even with backstock, you can overbuy. So it really is a good idea to not only identify the spot where you're going to keep it and then subdivide, but then get containers so that you can make sure that you're not overbuying for your backstock, because it is a slippery slope from going to having exactly what you need in backstock to having an amount that is just overwhelming and very difficult to stay on top of. So the second component, once you have figured out where everything's going to live, what the setup is going to be, is how you will use it. So there are a couple options. You can either continue to buy items weekly if you do a weekly shop and use your backstock as your emergency backup, which I know is what a lot of people are doing now, a lot of us who never had backstock prior to this pandemic. Or if you see that you're running low on something, you can shop your backstock first and then restock your backstock once you see that that's getting low. But if you don't have a system on how you're going to use this, you'll end up pulling things from the backstock sometimes. You'll end up buying more at the grocery store, and you can see how very quickly backstock becomes overwhelming. And so if that's you, if that's the situation that you're in, don't stress. You're not alone. You can see how easy it is to really lose control. And I think it's why I've been getting so many questions about it, because I don't think a lot of us take the time to think about where and how we're going to store it and then how we're going to use it. And you really have to have both of those solidified in order to make having backstock worthwhile for you. So there is no right or wrong here in terms of how you store it and how you use it. For some of us, it might make sense to use our backstock just as emergency. These are the things we can't find on our weekly shop, and we continue to shop weekly. And then if we can't find something, we have it in our backstock. For others of us who want to just shop monthly or twice a month, shop your backstock first, and then as that's getting low, you restock it. But it really will simplify your life if you choose one or the other. So for me, I am not panic buying, but I am strategically stocking up on the things that I can't find every week when we go shopping, because as you can imagine, I'm very particular. I like a certain type of paper towels, a certain type of soap that I can't always find. So when I do find them, or if I see them on Amazon, I may order an extra and put them in my backstock section that I did create just for this, because I'm a huge fan of swiftly setting up a system, even if it's not going to be a forever system. Once the pandemic's over, I don't plan to keep this up, but it doesn't mean that for the next year or two, I want to live in chaos. So I set up a system, even if it's temporary. But for me, we're still doing our weekly shop, and that's my sort of, I don't want to say emergency, but that's when I can't find the extras. That's how I'm using it. So I'm not stocking up every time I see these things, because I'm sticking to my contained bins, my small section. I don't want more than that because I don't want it to become overwhelming. So for others of you, it might feel more right to shop your backstock first and have even more than you otherwise might. You get to decide, but you have to decide. So spend some time thinking about how you can physically set up your backstock and then what makes the most sense for you to use it. This is not super complicated, but if you don't spend the time deciding those two components of it, it so easily becomes overwhelming, becomes a huge mess, becomes a waste of time and money because there's so much extra stuff. So many of our clients bring us in to organize their backstock. And so you're not alone, but you do need to take the time to put in a system that will actually make the backstock worthwhile. And I think a lot of us just aren't aware that it's critical to do that in order to make it work for us. So I hope this was helpful. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me where you're struggling with backstock, what has worked and not worked for you. Oh, I did want to share one tip that one of my members shared, and it's amazing. So if she buys, say, 3 of something, she'll put a simple label on it. She uses a Brother label, but you could even do it with masking tape, and she'll write 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and last one, and have them on her shelf. So as she's pulling them out, she can easily see what they are. And then once she's done, she can transfer those labels. Let's say she stocks up again. She can move the labels around or use them on other bottles or throw out the labels and start again. But for those of you that actually need it spelled out for yourselves, that is a really great idea that I can take no credit for. This is one of my amazing members' idea. Okay, as always, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how your backstock situation is working for you in the comments below. I see a couple people commenting. Melissa, you're saying, of course, that's me. It's a lot of us. That's why I'm on here sharing. I know a lot of us get tripped up with backstock. It seems like one of those things that should be so simple. We just stock up and there it is. But like everything, it really sometimes can be more complicated until we put that system in place. And then it is that simple. Okay, that's all I have for you today, friends. Have a wonderful day. I know many of us have the day off, so I hope you enjoy it. Bye.